I'm not even drunk.
That was loud.
Yeah, I have no idea what to talk about, so Jesus, take the wheel. Jesus, where are you, man?
You're loud.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll calm down a bit. But yes, I did have some alcohol tonight. Lots of alcohol. I just turned 21, so I can legally drink now, and it still does not feel right. Feels freaking weird.
The weird part is you didn't get tipsy or fuzzy at
I
all.
didn't really get drunk from the amount of alcohol I had consumed tonight, surprisingly.
Well,
Although, apparently it went to my ears. I was told my ears turned red. Are they still red?
a little pink.
So apparently alcohol goes straight to my ears. If that makes any sense.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I was just like trying to play a video game with my little sisters and everybody, and by everybody I mean Austin and my mother. They just kept giving me these drinks because they were trying to get me drunk, and it didn't work. I've been sober all night. However, Austin became this giggly little bitch. He's a giggly bitch when he's drunk.
Well, I wasn't necessarily drunk. It just makes me feel all fuzzy and warm.
Yeah, but you had that loopy behavior that you usually have when you have a lot of alcohol.
Oh yeah, I love
Because you were
it.
just like,
I don't
this
sound like
spot's
that.
warm.
Oh my god.
Must be because I peed there. I'm kidding.
And
But you probably would do that if you were
and
really
a
drunk.
combination I finally tried was pizza and beer. Unfortunately, Connor does not like beer. And
Yeah,
I
pizza
don't-
and root beer is the better combination.
To be honest, I'll give you that. Root beer and pizza are a good combination.
Yeah, I'd rather have root beer than actual beer. Because that podcast that we did with Jacob, sometime before we did the podcast, like this was even sooner after I turned 21. Austin just comes out and hands me a beer, and
It was literally the day after your birthday.
yeah, and I took a drink, and I'm just like, oh gosh, it was just nasty.
It was hilarious how he responded to that.
But yeah, that's just me. I'm not fond of beer, so
If you hear me sniffling, we were sick over that weekend right after the podcast.
yeah, I ended up with a bit of a sore throat, so that wasn't fun to deal with.
And now
I remember the next night, we ended up feeling a little down. We ended up not going to church that weekend because we were feeling a bit too sick. My throat was just burning and stuff, really, really bugging me. And for some reason, I felt like way less like doing stuff. Because, like, you know, it's common for me to not feel motivated to do the things that I need to do, but I was feeling it even more that day. And when I was, like, getting up to walk, like, it just felt like my body just didn't want to be up and moving. Like, I didn't want to stand.
Well,
And that afternoon, I just went to our room and hopped into bed and I passed out. Our parents were away from the weekend, and like I was passed out for like an hour or so. But when I woke up, everyone was home, and yeah, when they're gone for a while, they're not really fun to deal with when they come home. And if you're wondering why we're not moved out, well, we get free food here, so yeah.
and other complications, which we're not going into detail on because personal life.
But hey, free food,
Yeah. As of right now, I think my
and in Austin's case, alcohol,
thanks,
lots of it.
Thanks. I can buy my own now.
Yes, yes, he can, and he buys his own candy corn and shit.
But yeah, my nose right now, I think it's allergy based right now.
Gosh, like I don't know what it is with my nose, but like my nose has been running a lot since last year. And that's why I go through a lot of tissues, and Austin just keeps making like these awkward masturbation jokes, and it just makes me feel uncomfortable because like I'm using them all in my nose. I mean, like unless I was an anime character, I'd understand, but like because anime nosebleeds, anime character gets horny, they bleed through their nose, but real humans aren't like that.
Didn't you have a nosebleed when you were watching an anime one time and you made that joke?
I
swear you
don't
did.
think there was fan service going on at that particular point, but I'm pretty sure I do remember getting a nosebleed watching an anime,
And when you did and you were watching
and I'm
animes,
pretty sure I made a joke about that, but
it was funny, yeah.
but yeah. So I have no idea what the issue is with my nose. Probably have to do something about that eventually.
Don't watch anime or you'll die.
Oh gosh. Well, I guess I'll give up on watching Kaguya-sama.
Or the firefighters.
Or Fire Force. It's called Fire Force.
Yeah, close enough. They're firefighters, but with guns.
Did they use guns? I'm not that
I
far.
thought one of them
I'm not
had a
that far into Fire Force right now.
I thought one of them used a gun, but that's a
But
spoiler.
yeah,
Don't worry about it.
But yeah, like strangely this year I've actually been watching a whole lot of seasonal stuff because like it's normal for me to watch stuff throughout the year, but
Yeah.
like last year I skipped out on a handful of things. I mean, I didn't watch Laid Back Camp until like recently, and I gave up on it because it was incredibly mediocre. Sorry to anybody that liked it, but it just wasn't that good or that bad. I couldn't do it. I mean, there was some other stuff. There were some shows from that year that I really liked. Zombieland Saga.
Yeah.
That time I got reincarnated as a slime. But like, I've been watching a handful of things from this year, like The Rising of the Shield Hero,
Yeah.
Senryu Girl, Hitori Bochi, Senko-san, and there's Fire Force and Doctor Stone going on right now.
Okay.
And there are some shows that seem to be shit on a lot that I actually have been enjoying. So
Great.
yeah.
So
Also, I mentioned Kaguya-sama earlier, and that's also from this year.
So, based on your personal opinion, and I'm pretty sure everyone who's going to watch this would like to know, what is your favorite anime of all time that you've watched, and your favorite alcohol that out of all the ones you've tried so far?
Are you asking me or the audience?
Connor specifically. You guys can answer in the
Well,
comments below
I'm
if you
not
want.
entirely sure what I'd say my favorite anime of all time is, but like one of the first anime I ever sat down to watch was the adaptation of Ace Attorney, which reception to has been completely mixed.
Was it your very first one?
That was the first one that I sat down through, but like when I was a kid, I saw some anime episodes, like snuck some watches of Pokemon, which my mom wouldn't have approved of, and there's the Kirby anime. Like we watched a few episodes of that as a kid, but I had no idea it was an anime at the time.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it would be.
And but when I really decided to get down into watching anime, and I mean like real anime, not Ruby, like I'm sure there are people out there that consider it an anime, but whether or not it's still incredibly anime inspired, and everybody should be able to agree on that point at least.
Most people agree that it's an American made anime.
Yeah, but for now we'll just say it's very anime inspired and leave it at that. But my first, when I really decided to sit down and watch anime, back in 2017, I found K-On! Because I had seen some stuff about K-On! And I'm just like,
K-On! Was good.
I'm just like, okay, why not sit down and watch this? And it took me some time to get used to a show that didn't have male characters in the main cast. So when it got to the point I watched a show with a male character and part of the main cast, I'm just like, why is there a degenerate male here? But so, yeah, I watched K-On! And enjoyed that, and then I watched Love Live, and then it got to a point where I would never go a full week without watching any kind of anime, but there were plenty of shows I enjoyed since then. One show I really enjoyed is Full Metal Panic. When I started watching it, it came back with a 4th season, more than a decade after the original, so that was surprising. I enjoyed Durarara recently. Clanid's a good one. I own Canon, the 2006 adaptation on DVD. I love that one.
That one was good.
Did I mention Clanid?
Yes, you did. That one was also good.
Clanid's really good. We enjoyed Rewrite despite the mixed reception.
Yeah, that was an interesting
We also loved Little Busters. A lot of Key's anime adaptations, or even their anime originals, I'm usually pretty fond of those. My least favorite, though, would be Planetarian, but that's probably because it's an adaptation of a kinetic visual novel, and I'm not really a fan of kinetic visual novels. But yeah, it was just it ended up being the short 6-episode anime, that just didn't really feel very good to me. But I genuinely enjoyed a lot of their other stuff. I played some of the visual novels, though. I've played Clanid and Little Busters. Had a lot of fun with those.
What is your...
Oh, yeah, and then you asked me what my favorite alcohol was?
From the ones you tried tonight.
I like the one with the watermelon in it.
It tasted kind of like Jolly Ranchers watermelon flavor. Like we had two vodkas, the rest of them were like fruit flavored liqueurs or whatever. Me, I'm more of a beer guy, and
Dude, fuck beer.
my favorite is Blue Moon. If any of you guys, I would hope you would know that brand. Not sponsored.
Fuck Blue Moon. How about Rollin' Rock?
Rollin' Rock.
James Rolfe would be proud.
But let's see, what was it?
I haven't had Rollin' Rock. I had some of Austin's.
One of the vodka drinks that was up there. We poured it into shot glasses, and I took a sip to let my know if my mom would like it or not. I was like, "You're not gonna like that."
Yeah, he kept coming downstairs with like with my cup from dinner filled with all these drinks while I'm in the middle of playing a game of Mario Party with my little sisters, and I'm just like playing a game with these children. You're trying to get me drunk. You don't even know what kind of drunk I'll be. Apparently, my dad thinks I'm being like an angry drunk, and yeah, that would turn out real well while I'm playing a video game with my little sisters.
It'd be funny if he started swearing in German.
Just be like, I'm drunk now. Hulk smash.
It'd be great, and I'm not even gonna make that joke.
Or say Hulk smash in German.
That's not German, by the way. I don't know what that is.
I hope that's just gibberish and not anything offensive.
It's like we get demonetized because I actually said something offensive in German and I had no freaking clue. No, that was gibberish.
Despite some German blood in us, we don't actually speak German. I can speak a little bit of Spanish. Me gusta los gatos.
You like cats.
Yes. And I can kind of count in Japanese. Let's see. I can count to 10. Ichi, ni, san, shi, go, roku, shichi, hachi, ku, ju. That's 1 through 10, I believe. I'm not sure if I messed that up, but yeah. I am behind on my Japanese lessons. I'm still on numbers.
I did learn how to say the letter R, or pronounce an R in.
But I do know a few words and phrases Japanese. From anime, but that's all you'll ever learn from anime. Just a few words and phrases. I mean, everybody knows baka and opai.
Would you like to clarify what opai is?
No, but Austin loves opai.
Sugoi, konnichiwa.
I'd hope everybody knows what konnichiwa is.
Unfortunately, I said the word and apparently I pronounced it wrong. I can't remember how you're supposed to actually pronounce it.
Pronounce what?
Konnichiwa. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, even right now.
I mean, that sounds that sounds pretty close.
A girl I know who had learned Japanese over the course of 2 years, could almost speak it and read it perfectly. She taught me how to say certain syllables and stuff.
Yeah, like the thing about
with the R, you're supposed to move your tongue like you're going to say an L.
Yeah,
so instead of touching the roof of your mouth when you say an R, like roll, you're supposed to roll.
Yeah, so the thing about reading Japanese, like Romaji specifically, and that's just, with the Roman characters, like, in our alphabet. And apparently like reading it, you just gotta remember not to try to pronounce it like English words, like,
yeah,
because like when I first got into visual novels, like I had a habit of pronouncing a lot of anime names like I would if they were English names, like, silent E's and stuff. But like I know now that if there's an E at the end of somebody's name, it's got to be pronounced A. You can't just leave it. You gotta leave that A.
A defines. Let me think here.
We were talking about Japanese.
I know, I'm trying to think here.
You think? I didn't know you ever thought.
I'm trying to remember something.
Something about Japanese?
She also got to the point where she said I was learning pretty quickly on how to pronounce the syllables and letters and characters and all that stuff. She said the next thing was to learn writing, but we never got very far.
Yeah. I mean, like, I was just going through, like, tutorials on YouTube. But the thing is, it's kind of amazing like how much you can learn from YouTube because there are like so many tutorials out there.
Apparently, the Japanese language has 3 different writing systems.
Yeah, there's like there are like 3 sets of syllables. There's like katakana, hiragana, and what was the other one?
Did it start with an R? I think it did.
Um, I think it's another set of Japanese characters, not Romaji, but like hiragana, katakana. Oh, kanji.
Kanji, that was the one.
Kanji was the last one. I can't remember which one's for which, but one of them's for like younger kids, and one of them's just them adopting like Chinese characters into their own language.
Kanji's the one I'm the most familiar with. I've heard that one the most.
The last one is just foreign, or at least foreign to them, just non-Japanese names. It's used for non-Japanese names and non-Japanese words. So, words and phrases that did not originate in Japanese use that alphabet. You know, it is kind of interesting what kind of words they have in different languages, because Japan has, like, words in their language that we don't exactly have English words for. For example, Japan has the word doki, which is used for the sound of a heartbeat. We don't really have a word in English for the sound of a heartbeat, because, like, you know, we would describe, like, a heartbeat with, like, something like thump thump, but thump could be used for, like, other circumstances. But, like, the thing is, Japan has a word specifically for the sound of a heartbeat.
Yeah, we mostly use words to describe the sound itself, basically an onomatopoeia. I haven't used that word in forever. But we don't have a specific word to describe those sounds. It's just thump thump is the heartbeat.
Yeah. So something interesting I heard about Japan is their poems, they don't exactly follow a rhyming scheme because it's very easy to rhyme by accident when speaking Japanese because of how the language is set up.
That's funny.
Yeah.
How does Japanese rapping sound then?
Well, they just rap in English. Well, not all the time, but like
you take the moon and you take
because like the ending song to Canon, the 2006 reboot, it's got so like you're not gonna hear it in the short version of the song that just plays in the credits, but the full version of the song near the end, there's this full-on rap verse that starts playing, and it's completely in English.
Oh no. You know what's funny? Most countries have English as a mandatory language to learn because it's easy for everyone to understand universal. It's literally a universal language.
Well, here's something interesting about America. We're the only country that makes our students take a class for their own language. Because like in America, for the most part, we speak English here, but we still make our students take English classes. But the thing is, these English classes aren't exactly like, you know, learning the English language. It's just taking what you know about English and applying that stuff, seeing what you can do with it. It's basically kind of like, more like, you know, a language arts kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's late, and I didn't get drunk, and Austin seems to be sobering up.
Which is alright, but I'm really tired when I drink a bunch of alcohol. When the drunkenness wears off, I become lethargic, and yeah. So I believe we are out of topics to talk about. This was probably more real world stuff than the other podcasts so far. Leave a comment. Let us know what kind of topics you want us to talk about in the future.
And if you want us to talk about NSFW stuff, you'll be banned.
Fair enough. This is Austin signing off.
And this is your mom, Conor, signing out.